Hello Internet. Today I am cranky and grabbly blah. I did not get enough sleep today. But it's been a while since I did a video and I have tea. And this is basically all I'm going to do today because I'm going to get some more sleep. Hello. Because what better day to talk about dreams and dream interpretation and the languages to speak in the dreams other than a day when I am exhausted and cranky and grumpy. I'm going to start with, for those that don't know, explaining why you dream at all and why it's important to get enough sleep so you get into REM sleep so you dream. And the reason why we dream is the same reason that any mammal dreams, or any animal dreams. Most of them do. And it's the brain's way to prepare itself for any possible situation, which sounds massive, and it is. Which is why animals dream about chasing things or running away from things or finding things, I think. That's usually what I figure they're dreaming about when they do this. I usually don't dream about hunting things because I am not a cannibal or a hunter. Most of the dreams are actually connected to what we've experienced during the day or something that's been on our mind a lot, maybe something we worry about. For example, a friend of mine, she usually has dreams where she's trying to go to the bathroom, but she can't because she can't lock the door or someone is trying to get in and she just really has to pee. And that's not an unusual dream. And I think, since I know her, that those dreams are not about actually having to go to the bathroom or a door that's malfunctioning. It's more about feeling a lack of privacy or worrying about a lack of privacy, because where would you want to be more alone than anywhere? Usually when you go to the bathroom. And not being able to shut the door or stop someone from barging in on you when you're rather vulnerable, when you're unprotected. I lost my train of thought. Crap. Because you're fairly unprotected, sitting on the commode, wearing only basically half of your clothes and wanting to be alone. So having an inability to control a situation is usually rooted in a sense of lack of control in the real world. When I was working at a certain fast food chain that tried to kill me, I usually had a lot of nightmares about situations at work that I couldn't control and that stressed me out or was something I couldn't stop thinking about and being worried about all day long. And now maybe some of you are thinking, but oh, Rebecca, I remember someone saying something to me in my dream that really upset me, or no, actually a talking animal came up to me and said, oh no, young person, you should not eat the grass, it is mine. You have shamed the kingdom of blah, blah, blah. And that's maybe true. Probably not the grass eating thing, or maybe. But, and stay with me on this, I have a theory. And that is that the subconscious doesn't actually have a language. Because people who are really young dream, animals dream, and while most of them have their own kind of language, it's usually not verbal. People can hear a dream, and you dream even though maybe you're mute. Because everyone dreams. Well, most everyone. And so usually when you're thinking, the subconscious isn't like a textbook. It's not a monologue. Okay, maybe sometimes it is, but usually when you're thinking about stuff, like if you're thinking about a food you want to eat or a painting you want to do, before you actually take control of that train of thought, there's usually this just sense of food, this food, and maybe the taste or an image of it, or like, you know, when you get this yearning for, I don't know, spaghetti, and you get this sense of spaghetti, where you get this sense of an emotion or a concept that you want to put into a painting before you start actually thinking about, oh, maybe I should do this there and this there and this there. But that first raw stadium is just like, well, a sense, and that's not verbal. And then usually later you come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, I really want to eat spaghetti, or I really want to do this painting of a ladybug. And then you start figuring out the more technical bits, and you, well, take control of it, you take charge. And that's a different stadium, because then it's not the subconscious doing this anymore, it's you doing it on purpose, kinda. I've been studying English since I was 10, and I'm 24 now. Even though I live in Sweden, where I speak Swedish, I meet Swedish people, I write in Swedish most of the time. English is still all around me, because I watch a lot of English media, and most of my music is in English, and I have friends in other countries whom I speak English to. Most of my books are actually in English, so I consider myself bilingual. It would have been trilingual if I managed to stick with the German, but no, I decided to quit. Which was stupid, because languages are fun. So going back to the whole, I remember someone saying something to me in my dream. And, well, I've already said that I don't believe the subconscious has a specific language, because sometimes I dream in English, and sometimes I dream in Swedish, and sometimes I have absolutely no idea what language I dreamt about, but it was really exciting, or was really about something. I'm sorry, I'm really uncomfortable today. Well, normally I have dreams where I'm not sure which language I speak. Sometimes I have very specific memories of someone saying something to me in either Swedish or English. Like, there's this one word that really tips me off that, oh wait, this is English. Because sometimes I forget which language I'm speaking or reading, because it's just, well, information. One of those examples were back when I was working at the fast food chain, and I was always really stressed, especially if I'd worked a Saturday night shift, because then we didn't close until 3:30, which meant that we didn't get the last drunk people out until 4. And I remember having this really vivid dream about me trying, more or less alone, to close up the restaurant. And there were these drunk people everywhere, and I was just trying to do the hovering, which is weird because I don't use one of those there. And I don't even remember what the person looked like. But they kept yelling at me in Swedish, I just want another cheeseburger. Only cheeseburger was cheeseburger, the English word, because that's the way it said on the menu. And I was just yelling, no, get out, and also in Swedish. And I am certain this was in Swedish, because the word cheeseburger is a term we use in the restaurant and there, and we never said the Swedish word for it. But the rest of the sentence was in Swedish, and that difference made me remember it. And it was a sentence I've heard so many times in Swedish, while on the other hand I've had dreams about things maybe I've seen on television or something I've recently read in English, and then usually the dream or the language spoken there that are important to what I'm dreaming about is in English. Because that's another way for the brain to cope, I believe. Because since the brain is trying to prepare for a potential threat or event, they're using real world examples and then morphing them in the weird way subconscious does. But yeah, there we have my theory about what languages you speak in dreams. I'll put a link to my last video and then to my next video when I do it in the information thing. Bye. I really should have breakfast.